All right, welcome to us live from beautiful East Lansing, Michigan, about to take on Michigan State tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And I forgot in the intro, I was going to say senior Patricia Ward, and P, I was going to say it's wild that you're a senior already. It feels like you got on campus like 2 seconds ago. And so, first things first, what the hell happened on Thursday? What a game. So you go down 2-0, 2 goals that are a little bit scrappy in the sense that I think maybe there's folks on the back line who feel like they could have cleared that corner kick or maybe could have gotten in the way. But Ohio State was just rolling too. They had a good flow going for that first 20 minutes. So first, I'm curious from your perspective, what was going through your head in that 20 minutes where things just weren't quite clicking and Ohio State was just kind of rolling? Where was the team at in that moment of like, damn, dude, we're down 2-0, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of just a blur. Like things weren't going terrible, but things weren't necessarily going like how we expected to start the game. So like I think people, at least me personally, I was just like I felt like I had no idea what was happening. And I was just like, what is going on? I don't think anyone expected the game to start like that. And like coming off of our loss against Wisconsin, we were like excited to like kind of get back out there and put our stamp like on on the conference by getting in the W column. So to start off like that was just like kind of shocking, I guess, for us.
Yeah. I'd say everything just felt super frantic, and we were definitely like kind of on our heels, kind of in shock, like what's going on. But then we were really able to like recenter ourselves and like start playing how we know how to play.
Yeah, and I know, obviously, for those who watched the game, you guys got pretty quick. And then before we got back, and it was even to halftime. But really, from minute 20 or 25 on, it was just an entirely different game. I mean, the team, it looked like, honestly, anyone who watched you guys from 20 minutes to minute 90 would think that you had what it takes to, like, win the Big Ten. I mean, like, you looked so good in that stretch. And probably the first maybe not as bad as close to that. And I know one thing head coach Erin mentioned after the game is she did try and have the ball a little bit higher to sort of have a slightly higher position. But what other things do you think changed in that transition period of you sort of grabbing the game and taking control?
Yeah, I think that we just had like the mentality to like step up and change the game. Like we had game changers come onto the field with Baker and Sadie. They came onto the field like ready to make a difference. And I know that like I saw physical changes in just the way that people were playing, and Meg Gray just like started to step up and kind of I felt like leaded the charge a little bit just with like her work rate and the way that she was playing, and she was like kind of instilling into us that we weren't going to lose the game. And then like once we scored the first goal, everyone was like, we're not going to lose this game.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I just think like all over the field, we were a lot more like gritty and going for every ball and just like really putting ourselves out there.
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely looked like there was just a switch of like everyone was, like you said, everyone was just like had belief. I mean, it shows a ton of guts to play a game like that because frankly, like going down 2-0 20 minutes in sucks. I mean, it just does suck no matter what happens. So let's dive into some more specifics for Patricia. You obviously have been playing at right back, and I'll put it politely for the show. I know you're not a huge fan of playing defense. You grinded it out last spring playing outside back, and I actually thought you played really well at outside back last spring, and you looked good. But aside from the difference of you're not playing up top and getting goal scoring opportunities, all those things, I actually find it really interesting the different you have to have because all of the forwards essentially in college soccer play 25 to 35 minutes. And you've been playing 90 minutes a game outside back. I find like the change of mindset from I'm playing up top and now I have to pace myself and be ready to go like minute after minute. Specific change and like trying to dial in for 90 minutes after being able to sort of go for quick converts.
Yeah, it's definitely a change of mindset, kind of that like I feel like I have to get into before the game, kind of like before like even like starting in training, because it's just different when you know that you're probably not going to come out of the game. So I mean, I don't know, like you said, it's just a mindset, and I just prepare myself to go, and you kind of just have to will yourself through it when you're tired and just keep running and keep getting up with the line and just like staying disciplined, and like you have to focus a lot more mentally because you know that like there's not a break coming, like there's no sub coming. So you really have to just keep yourself like locked in and disciplined at all times.
Well, you mentioned that focus. That's the biggest thing I think of because when you're playing on the wing or all the way up top, you have those moments where you're not really that close to the play. Like you can kind of not check out, but you don't have to be like on. But at outside back, it's like if you're ever in their position, they can screw you over. Like you can lose your person. It's just like so much more like constant stress. It feels like. Is that what it feels like for you?
Yeah, definitely. There's always something that like you need to be paying attention to, and if you're not, you're putting the team in like a lot of jeopardy.
Right. And Sophia, I know there was a lot of, when the team was, Aaron's talked about this, of trying to build the defensive shape first, make sure the team is consistent defensively, and then sort of week by week, I know there's been a lot of focus of trying to build that sort of dynamic nature into the attack. Like, can we go from shutting folks out to being dangerous in the attack? And you individually always look super dangerous with the ball at your feet, sort of going downhill, sort of in open space. But I think especially as a team, the unit has looked really dangerous when you're able to combine with other folks sort of in that final third. And I'm super, from your perspective, what's it like for you, the changes of the attacking shape, and sort of, are there more players in the attack, or are you just learning to read each other as you sort of get more comfortable? Because obviously different forwards have also been playing different minutes too. So it's, Baker's been playing more. We've seen, Sandy's been getting slightly more minutes. It's been a different rotation. So how has that sort of change in the game been like for you as the attacking midfielder?
I think just like kind of the more we play together, the more you get a feel for like everyone's playing styles. Like obviously Baker's like super tall and like, so like, she's good at like heading it, flicking on, or even just like posting up. So like being able to kind of like read what she's going to do when she gets the ball versus what someone else is going to do when they get the ball has been super helpful, I think, not just for me, but like for everyone as a whole. So kind of like playing to everyone's strengths has really made us able to connect a lot more.
Yeah, I think I've been susceptible on the broadcast to talking about like trying to describe your game to folks because you're playing in a pure number 10 role. I think last year you started maybe in kind of like an 8 role, whatever. Like, I think those designations are a little bit overused, like central midfielders. But for you, when you try to describe your game, how do you talk about sort of where you're most dangerous or where you're most effective?
I'd say I'm playing more of a 10, and like I think what a lot of focus has been is like not getting caught too deep in some moments where there's like no outlet in the center, but also like really working with my forwards so I'm not making the same runs as them or like flat with them on their line. So like providing depth in the attack for them to lay off to me under. So kind of like just like making sure I'm in the right space on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm. And this is sort of related to that, and Patricia, you can jump in on this too if you've noticed. I know one thing I've particularly noticed is when Donovan is playing that holding midfield role, she's so disciplined in her positioning that at times she can sort of stay home between those center backs. And then sometimes there's this space between her and the center backs and you, Sophia, where there's sort of like this, how do we make sure we're moving as a unit? And I wonder if playing that higher line sort of helps you have a more cohesive shape. Does that seem like it's kind of part of the equation, or is that a little bit?
I don't quite get exactly what you're saying.
Oh, like Donovan is so disciplined defensively that she wants to stay right in front of those two center backs. But then if the attackers are trying to push high, then there ends up being this space between sort of the defensive 5 and the offensive crew. But if everyone is pushing higher, it sort of closes that gap by default. Do you think that's part of why you were able to combine so well against Ohio State, because you were pushing everyone up just a little bit more so the shape was more cohesive?
Yeah, I think that could be part of it. I think it was just like overall as a team, after we like turned around in Ohio State, we were just like a lot more connected as a unit, which I think is like kind of what you're saying, like making sure there's not any big gaps. So yeah.
Right. All right, we'll take a quick break to tell you that this week's episode is brought to you by Penn Homes. Penn Homes is a real estate team with Keller Williams. I have personally experienced working with Nate and Lydia. I am sitting and living in a Penn's home right now. Nate's been a supporter of the local soccer community, including as an owner of the Minnesota women's soccer team. He also enjoyed working. I personally enjoyed working with one of the preferred lenders, and he shared with women in financing. So if viewers have any questions about buying, selling homes, needing Fergus or flooring people, shoot them a message at penshomes.com. All right. And Patricia, we hinted a little bit at this before we were recording, but I'm super curious how players, especially because you're a fourth-year player, do a fourth year since everyone has this weird option of a fifth year. I'm super curious how members of the team, especially maybe younger players, are either sort of talking to each other about that possible fifth year, talking to the staff, or even just like how you're thinking to yourself of, did you sort of already make that decision? Are you talking to teammates about it? Is it kind of like, are a bunch of us going to stay or none of us? What's that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely had conversations kind of together as like, not really together, but like just kind of wondering where everyone's at with our classmates. Obviously, I'm not going to tell who's doing what because that's not my information, and I don't think everyone's like completely solid yet, but I cannot spill anyone else's tea. But for me, I definitely know that I want to play a fifth year of soccer. Just haven't had like the conversation yet about what that's gonna look like. So unfortunately, nothing super interesting to tell you, but because I don't have really a story yet.
I mean, I just think it's like, I think it was an under-discussed thing last spring when that announcement happened. Everyone sort of thought of last year's seniors continuing to play this fall. But the truth is, like, that dynamic will continue for like 4 more years because all of you got that random extra, like Sophia has a fifth year, even though she was a freshman during COVID, so I just think it's kind of funny to track for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, we've seen, like, for instance, Athena has just been crushing it at LSU using her fifth year down there. And so teams can screw up a good impact player. So, Sophia, I mean, you obviously played a ton of minutes last spring. You were an impact player then, but you were still sort of experiencing that season for the first time. I remember talking to you about, like, what was it like having your first year be this weird delay of 9 months and then playing in February and then playing indoors, and you're like, well, I don't know any different. This is what college is like for us freshmen. But now this fall, you're coming in a veteran, you have games under your belt, you have that confidence, I know I can do it against big time teams. What do you think how do you felt like your role has changed from sort of last year trying to earn and prove that spot and make it and learn your spot, and then this year knowing what you can do?
I definitely say I have some more confidence. Just like also being able to play non-conference was like a big game changer because you get to play like a bigger variety of opponents, and so I think that was like just like helpful to kind of like get like my confidence up and like also play against other teams that aren't in the Big Ten. So I feel like for me, that's probably like the biggest change this year, having teams that were playing not in the Big Ten, and that's just like helped like build my confidence and like focus on like fixing more things because the season's not quite as short.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. Last spring was like an absolute sprint. I mean, like by the time you were playing like that 12 game or whatever slate it was pretty quick. Patricia, the last time we had you on here, you were with Ari Del Moral. You both were sort of ACL recovery buddies. Ari's up at St. Cloud State now, which is awesome. I think it's great that she gets a chance to have sort of a second college career up there. But you've gone through that. A bunch of players have gone through that. But now a couple of young players are sort of dealing with their own ACL recoveries, Josie Wood, et cetera. Have you been sort of called upon now as someone who's gone through that recovery, like at Minnesota, to sort of give your tips and tricks of, here's how I was working with Gorby, here's how I was working with, the trainers? Has that been sort of a role for you of like, oh, what fun, I get to talk about off-field stuff, glamorous, like, leadership role for you?
Yeah, there's quite a few people on the team now who have torn their ACL, whether that was in college or before we got here. So I think there's a good group of girls who know the experience and like the work it takes to rehab from it. So not just myself, but kind of like a lot of people on the team have experience with it. But yeah, I definitely feel like I've been like willing to kind of like reach out to people and offer my advice or like opinion or just like space to talk about whatever, just because I understand everything that they're going through. And I just feel like that's something that our team in general is really good at, empathizing with others and like just being able to support our teammates and be helpful in any way that we can. So definitely have been a shoulder for people to lean on and kind of just even just like hang out, not even talk about rehab, but just, you know, just to do whatever and just get your mind away from it at times.
Well, it seemed at least to me from the outside that when you came back, there wasn't much of a like hesitancy or, you know, because I know that's part of it. It's like, how can I mentally be confident that my leg is like where it was before? And for me, at least from the outside of it looked like the time we were back on the field last spring, you were ready to rock. But is that, I guess you ended up having a lot more time because of the fall, like, that part of the helpful process?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a tribute to just like how I function mentally. Like I don't really like to worry about things that I can't control. So kind of throughout my entire rehab, it was more so just like doing whatever I have to do to be on the field. And then like once I got the chance to do that, kind of just going with it, like not thinking about it too much, not worrying about like re-injuring myself or whatever else can go on. So I kind of just like to be like kind of free and just play like very free-mindedly and kind of just not thinking too much about things. So I think that helped like my confidence, and definitely like the time that we had in the fall to kind of regroup, I think gave me a good opportunity to like see who I was.
Right. And like you said, like play without giving a shit. It's like, that's actually that can be like a good mentality of like, I'm just going to go play. I got to go play. Sophia, I was joking with Emily Heslin and some other former Gopher vets when you played on the WPSL team with them over the summer. I was telling Heslin to sort of like you a few more elbows and try and get you to be, you know, gritty and like put it to you a little bit, see if she could rub off on you a little bit. But for you, you know, you'd already played so many minutes at Minnesota. You'd already sort of established yourself as you play at a certain level. What were you specifically sort of hoping to get going back and getting some reps of sort of getting 8 minutes in that league?
Can you repeat that last second? It just like broke out a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, I think what I've seen some Gophers when they play WPSL, like Alana a few years ago, hadn't been starting for the Gophers, but then she went and had a really big role over the summer with WPSL, and it helped her build her confidence and sort of. Then she came back and just crushed it for the Gophers. But for someone like you, where you sort of already been playing a lot of minutes, what did you specifically want to get out of continuing to play in that summer?
I think it was just like helpful to play with a lot of different players, and just like get used to playing with different styles of play. And I had like my role through WPSL kind of changed, but I played a lot of defensive mid and then I was more attacking. And I think it was just like getting to play with other people and getting like high level practices and pretty high level games like throughout the summer to keep getting touches, like for me was really important. And I really liked my coaches, and I think practice was like really, really fun in WPSL. It was just like we always had really good numbers and it was really competitive. So I think that was just like helpful for me, but also just like in the games, people didn't have the same connections as we do in college because we hadn't been together as long. So just like trying to like practice being a leader and like directing people since everyone was kind of new.
Right, like almost taking the nature of having to come together quickly, taking that challenge and use it as a benefit of, can I overcome this like sort of semi-chaos that is playing the summer league and like learn to direct folks here.
Yeah.
Well, and Patricia, you played a number of seasons in WPSL too. I mean, I've seen that league can be a really interesting spot to watch players because you see, I think, more individual showcase than team showcase. Like you said, Sophia, it can be kind of funny thing to watch. So, last couple questions we'll get into. These are both pulled from your bios, and just a fun little question for you, Patricia. I know back in your Newport News days, you were an indoor track star, and so I am super curious who you think from the Gopher soccer team would make the best 4x1 relay and the 4x800 relay. Let's do like a long do a sprint distance.
Okay.
And you can and should name yourself if you believe you'd be on the team.
Okay. Okay, so for the 4x1, yeah, I definitely should be in it.
Yeah.
Meg should be in it.
Yeah.
Kenna should be in it.
Yeah.
Who's the fourth person? I gotta think. Us three.
So she's just talking to you, man.
What?
Soph's right there.
Oh, Soph? Honestly,
I'm
not gonna lie, I was thinking Sadie. Not
Yeah.
that Soph's not fast. I think I'd put her in the 800,
I think
not
it'd
the
be better
4x1.
800.
So 4x1 would be me, not in this order, I don't know, but me, Kenna, who did I say?
Meg.
Me, Kenna, Meg, and Sadie. Yes.
Okay.
That's a solid 4x1. I'd bet on us to win 100%. 4x800, not putting myself in that. I would put Soph. I would put Meg. I think I'd put Sadie in that one too.
Yeah.
And then, that's hard. What are you thinking?
I don't know.
I need to see like a list of the team.
Same.
I'm gonna go up there by
Maybe Crystal?
Loki, maybe Ken's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah. I would say Soph, Sadie, Kenzie, and Meg. Mm-hmm.
It's so funny too because I think some players are really quick in like short spaces. Like I think of like Jaden Peck seems to have like really quick like agility speed. Or like I've heard, I one time tried to tell someone I wasn't sure if I thought Alana would be good as a center back, and someone was like, "Dude, she's like the fastest straight line runner on the team. Is she a good sprint speed?"
Yeah, Elena's really fast. Yeah, she's got like really good agility times and like 10, 20 times.
Yeah. So it's funny because on the field, like the speed in the game can be like deceptive because I think like players like Jaden show like really quick speed in small spaces or like the quick burst, you know? Yeah, that's okay. We'll see if we get any beef from other players who are hurt. We'll see. Well, actually, we should follow up with you two. Do either of you feel like you should have been on the basketball starting five?
Who do we think should have been on it?
No, do either of you think you should have been on it?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm so bad at basketball.
Maybe Baker, not me.
Right. It was the starting five was Meg, Lauren Donovan, Izzy, Taryn Reitzma, and Patty Baker.
Yeah, that's fair. I could be a sub, but I'm more of a distribution, like maybe point guard type thing. I'm kind of bad at basketball.
Yeah.
Me too.
Sophia, you never played hoops?
I mean, I play with my neighbors, but I never played on a team.
I play horse.
Horse, lightning. If it was lightning game, I'd put myself in.
Okay.
Thunder.
Okay.
That's kind of the game. You know, I try hard in the game. I just don't know how good I'd be.
You would work. Maybe you'd be good at defense.
Yeah.
And Sophia, this one is for you, but we'll also then give you a chance to. You both are absurdly award-winning youth athletes. Like the list of whatever you won from ages 15 to 18 is absurd. Personally, my favorite that you won, Sophia, is the Bimbo Bakery's All-American. And so I'm curious what baked products you received for being a Bimbo Bakery's All-American.
I didn't. Oh, I gotta be honest. I didn't receive any.
It was breaking up a little bit. We heard All-American.
Oh, I think you said Bimbo Bakeries.
Yeah.
I can't say I received any. I don't really know. There's I don't really know how all that works, but.
Did you guys ever receive actual plaques or medals for those all of the long list of awards you get when you're a star club player?
Yeah, I can't remember. One of the All-American things had this ceremony in, I think somewhere on the East Coast, but I didn't go because I soccer or something where I didn't want to go to the ceremony. But then they sent me a scarf and some plaque or something.
Right.
So I think it kind of depends on the people who are running it.
Okay. Because I will tell you, I think Jenny Vetter said she was on the show with Mark. That when she was a college All-American, she did a sweet jacket.
Oh.
So you can aspire to that. That can be your jacket status that you go for.
Okay. Well, we'll be sure to aspire.
Patricia, did you ever get anything good from those like youth awards? Because there's like 50 of them that you won.
Oh, no, honestly, not that I could think of. No, nothing other than like plaques or trophies or stuff like that.
Okay. And so you all face off against Michigan State tomorrow, 11 a.m. Folks will probably listen to this after the game happens, maybe. But who are, I always want to make sure players get a chance to sort of give credit to some players who maybe are getting a ton of shine, but are doing really well in training or just working hard all the time, even if they are shining at the game. Or who are, maybe one or a couple of players that either of you would want to just give a shout out to for, what they're contributing from day in, day out.
I think P kind of mentioned it earlier, but Meg just has really been like working her butt off. And like whenever we watch film, there's always some clips of Meg just like sprinting back and winning the ball. And so just like defensively and offensively, she's been super dangerous. So I'd say Meg.
Yeah, I was going to say Meg too. And I think that Baker's doing a really good job of just like using her biggest advantage. And I think it's very helpful for our team because I know just like as playing as an outside back for the last couple of games, when I get the ball, like for throw-ins, I'm like Baker said, like it's just so easy. Like she's right there. Like there's no competition. Or like if I don't have an outlet, I can ship it up to Baker, and I know she's going to be the first one to get to the ball. It's just such a competitive advantage, and I think she's just doing a really good job at using it, and then like using her size to make things happen. Like the third goal, the game-winning goal in our game this past Thursday, and just being able to hold the ball up and just be huge for us up top.
Well, and what's it like for you both? Because Patricia, you'll eventually be back up top. You played some with Baker in the attack before moving back. Sophia, you've been playing off of Baker a lot. What's it like specifically sort of running off her when she does sort of those redirects to you? Sort of almost doing a run around her as she redirects to just feed you on that run. Because I don't think I've seen that type of play from other hold-up forwards like in my era covering the team.
Yeah, she's just really good at honestly using any body part. I'm pretty sure her first goal was maybe her shoulder or stomach.
Like her stomach or something,
Yeah, so she's pretty crafty with like being able to flick it on. Like she loves like kind of like the shoulder pop sometimes.
Yeah, she does.
So, I mean, it's been fun, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it just makes it easy because the ball goes in the air and she's going for it. And I'm like, I can 90% guarantee it's going to keep going when she jumps. So I should keep going too.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, thanks so much. This was Sophia Boman, Patricia Ward on the road in sunny East Lansing, ready to take on Michigan State tomorrow morning. Good luck in the game tomorrow, you guys.
Thank you.